Hi everybody, welcome to Dan and Bryn Start a Gym. Yesterday we went over exercise and intensity. We went over that briefly. If you want to see that, look at yesterday's video or the one that we made before this, because there's not that many yet. Today we're going to be talking about nutrition. Well, nutrition is definitely the harder subject of the three. That seems to be the one that people struggle with the most, which I'm not quite sure why. It seems like it should be the easiest thing to deal with. But there's so much information about nutrition out there. What kind of diet should I do? There's everything from paleo to ketogenic, intermittent fasting, Atkins, Beachbody, low carb, high protein. What in the hell are we supposed to do about our diet? I hopefully will break it down a little simpler for you. There's a few things that we like to think of that I like to do in regards to diet and nutrition. And we're going to kind of go over that a bit today. It'll be a little bit more vague in regards to what you should actually do, because really my goal and my hope is that I inspire you to look up your own stuff and sort of figure out your own diet and nutrition. Because if you constantly need me or somebody else in regards to writing you a meal plan, telling you exactly what to eat, then you're not really going to be all that effective when you're let loose on your own. If something were to happen, if somebody were to go away who's writing you those meal plans, oh my gosh, what can I do? So the real goal is to teach you how to write your own meal plan to a certain extent, which means you're going to have to do some work and actually research some stuff on your own. Now, part of that is hopefully watching our videos. Our first thing that we want to think about is our goal. What's our goal when it comes to our body, or really anything in life? We're going to be doing the goal stuff based on nutrition today, and part of that is, do I want to build muscle? Do I want to lose weight? Am I happy where I'm at? Whatever it might seem to be. But you really want to narrow down what it is that you want, your goal. Now, wants are a funny thing because you don't get what you want, you get what you work for, and diet is no different, okay? You can want millions of dollars, but if you don't work for it, the odds of you getting it is really small, unless you win the lottery, but even then, it's very, very, very small that will happen. So don't get what you want, don't want things, work for things, and your body is no different. You are a direct reflection of your either nutrition in the past or your nutrition now. And so if you're not changing body shapes, if you're not changing types, there's something in, again, one of these three, more than likely in the nutrition category, that you're doing that's not correct, okay? Now you might be doing the best you can and you might be thinking to yourself, hey, I eat really good. I know that I eat really good because, you know, I switched from Hot Pockets to Lean Pockets. And I know that those are super healthy. But you would be slightly incorrect. However, you don't know what you don't know, and you didn't know that a Lean Pocket really isn't all that different than a Hot Pocket. And so part of this is that self-awareness technique that we're going to be going over on later videos. Right now we're just going to try and get you to hone in on what you need to start doing with your diet. So understanding what your goal is really important. So when it comes to building muscle, you might be increasing some of your carbohydrates so you can work harder in the gym. When it comes to losing body fat, you'd want to decrease your carbohydrates as best you could. Making sure that you're getting a balanced nutrition is always a part of that. When we think about diets, I think there's two major styles of dieting other than all the different types of actual diets in general. You have fast diets, and then you have slow diets. I tend to like the slow stuff better than the fast stuff. Fast meaning that, hey, I'm gonna go from eating the worst kind of diet possible. I drink beer, I eat pizza, I do all this horrible, horrible stuff that I generally know I shouldn't do, but I do it anyway. And you go, you know what, I'm gonna make a change. I'm gonna start doing something different. So I'm gonna go from that to hardcore, clean eating, all vegetables, all the time, and whatever that might be. Now you're gonna see a lot of progress really fast when you make that big switch, right? And that's what you want, because people come in here and they tell me all the time, that their major goal is to lose body fat as fast as possible, right? But that comes at a price, not necessarily a monetary price. It comes with lots of different kinds of prices. So we switched their diet from whatever it was to something that is significantly more clean eating, more consistent as far as what it is. Chicken breast, broccoli, brown rice, blah, 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 blah. We can look up all that sort of stuff later. But they start losing weight really fast. They start making changes really, really quick. Now the problem is it begins to slow down. And the reason it slows down, not slows down as far as the progress they make, it slows down because right about week number 1 or 2, sort of week number 3, it starts to get a little boring. I'm sick and tired of chicken breast, right? The change happened too drastically. Even though the product was okay, they didn't change their habits well enough. So all of a sudden their old habits come in, they had a stressful day at work, they had something like that happen, they go, you know what, I'm just gonna try and do something quick and easy. When it comes to diet and nutrition, the best thing we wanna do is try to be proactive and not reactive with our diet. We wanna think about it in advance and try to make those adjustment periods as best we can. Now I like the slow diet first. slow to fast, which means it builds up speed and gets easier as we get going along. Again, when it comes to the diet stuff, you shouldn't be thinking about a short-term basis. You should be thinking very, very long-term in this. I'm not changing my diet for the next 12 weeks so I can look good on the beach. I'm changing my diet for the next several years so that I can see continual progress. That's going to be the best way to make sustainable progress. Losing 30 pounds every 3 or 4 months. Every January we lose 30 pounds, then we gain it all back, and then every January we lose. That's really hard on your body, so it's best to make sustainable progress. I like doing it that way because I figure out what it is that I'm doing now and what it is that I need to change, and I try to make the smallest step possible each week to sustain that change. I give myself a lot of grace and a lot of, and I don't feel guilty at all if I cheat, if I mess up, if I screw up on my diet, because I go, hey, this week, if I went from nothing to something, this week I did better than last week, and so on and so forth. As far as the price goes, again, if you start off with an extreme change from the diet you're eating now to the diet you need to be eating, you're going to find that after about 12 weeks, you ran out of willpower, you ran out of drive, and you're going to go back to eating all this stuff because you didn't take enough time to develop the habits that you need to for sustainable changes. If you start off slower, you're able to develop the habits much more easily, you know? So if you don't eat breakfast, start eating a breakfast. If you don't eat enough vegetables, start eating more vegetables. Those sorts of habits are easier to put into place. The price of each of these is slightly different. You have to resolve that I'm going to do this for long periods of time, not just 12 weeks. So a lot of people go on a diet and they go on that diet and they eat real clean, they do whatever it is, and then they change right back to the old diet that they were eating, and that's why they yo-yo up and down in their weight fluctuation. So thank you very much. This is Dan and Bryn Start a Gym. We will be talking about recovery tomorrow, and we're going to be going over these 3 things yet again as we go. And so please subscribe, and if you're in Federal Way, feel free to stop by our gym, Temple Fitness. Thank you very much.